We're here for one of our 3 meetings a year. In January we always come to Geneva for almost a week's work. The Committee for Human Rights of Parliamentarians is one of the most important bits of work that I think the IPU does. I've been on this committee now for 3 years. I'm there on my own right. It's not a country-based thing, but of course I'm a New Zealand politician. I'm proud of our democratic record. We have an open, transparent government. Democracy takes place regularly every 3 years, but frankly, many countries don't enjoy that stability. And we're here investigating abuses of elected representatives from a large number of countries. Some of them have been assassinated, some of them have been murdered, some of them have been locked up and detained because they speak freely as an opposition MP, and the government of the day doesn't like them. So we're here to try and investigate those sort of complaints, do what we can to assist those countries develop better, open democracies, the one that I'm privileged enough to be part of. Well, there are 10 members on this committee. We tend to be regionally based, but we're elected because of our own expertise. We then receive complaints from these various countries. We then go into a fact-finding, trying to ascertain whether the complaint that's been put before us actually has credibility, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's admissible, whether it is actually a breach of the human rights of an elected representative, or is it some political aspect that's not a breach of human rights. So we go through that sort of work to find out whether it's admissible. Once it's admitted, then we work closely with the country to further try and find facts and work with that country to see whether we can get them to right the wrong and actually show respect for elected representatives, whether they're in government or whether they're in opposition. Most of the cases that come before us are admissible. So we make sure we do the homework first. Very few, but there are still some, but very few are not admissible simply because they're not a breach of the human right of that elected representative. A lot of the cases we get are actually about politics in an individual country, and it's not our job to enter into a political debate. That's for the particular sovereign nation to determine. Our job is to look at breaches of the human rights of elected representatives. Well, as I first came onto the committee 3 years ago, I was invited to do one of these missions that we choose to do occasionally. In this case, it was to the nation of the Maldives. We went there with a large number of abuses and breaches of the human rights of elected representatives. We filed a substantial report which was critical of the way many opposition MPs were treated. The report was treated with respect. There's been a subsequent election in that country and a change of government, but we now see a situation where we had an unstable, unsatisfactory democracy operating in the Maldives to one where we now have a stable new government that appears to be functioning rationally. I consider that one of the real successes of my tenure on this committee.